G'day folks, Connor here from CW Tech, back with another video. And today we're looking at the top 3 features for the iPhone XS, or the XS, whatever you want to call it. So without further ado, hit the like button and the subscribe button, and let's get stuck into my video. Let's go. Now when it comes to the iPhone XS, even for a die-hard Android user like myself, there's a couple of things that just make me go, wow, this phone is amazing. And the first one I want to talk about is the build quality. Now when I pick up the iPhone XS, I'm amazed at how well it feels. I actually think it's about the perfect size for a smartphone. You can get your hands around it nice and easy. Now for some people it's too small, for others it might still be too big, but for me it's that perfect size. It feels nice and round in the hand and nice and curved edges. It's definitely 2 bits of beautiful Gorilla Glass 6 sandwiched between a nice steel frame, but you can just feel that it's nice and symmetrical and smooth. It has a really nice finish to it that is just a pleasure to hold. I mean, the look, the feel, the colours, they all are quite astounding, and it's a beautiful piece of equipment. And this was apparent to me as soon as I unboxed it. Straight away, I knew I had something special in my hands here when it comes to build quality. Now I will also mention that if you look at Jerry Rig Everything's drop test video on the iPhone XS, it has dropped about 8 times from head height and doesn't crack. So that's got to tell you a lot about the build quality and the design. This is 5.8 inches in diameter and weighs about 177 grams, which is about middle of the road for a device of this size, maybe a little bit on the heavy side. But that weight really adds to the nice feel that you get. 7.7 millimeters thick, 70.9 centimeters wide, and about 143 millimeters top to bottom. So again, the perfect mix of size, weight, build quality, design features, materials, colors. I just feel it has that whole rock and roll feel going for it. You'll be really pleasantly surprised with it, as I was. And I keep going back to this, but I'm an Android fan, but the iPhone XS build quality and design is second to none. The second area I think is one of the top 3 features of the iPhone XS is the camera. On the front you have a 7 megapixel shooter. It comes in with an aperture of f2.2, has HDR and can record 1080p at 60 frames per second. Now the images look amazing, and I really think between the iPhone XS, the Galaxy Note 9 and the Pixel for still images, it's really hard to pick a winner. Your fanboys will say the Pixel's a winner. Your Galaxy fanboys like me will probably say the Galaxy's a winner, and then your iPhone XS fanboys will say that the iPhone's a winner. They're all up there. They're all incredible front and rear facing cameras. Then on the back we'll look at 2 12 megapixel shooters. One is a wide angle at 26 millimeters and the other is a telephoto coming in at 52 millimeters, and both of them serve a great purpose, and they give you that zoom that you need and often don't get in a smartphone, and the zoom doesn't lose image quality when you punch in on that secondary camera. Both lenses have optical image stabilization and phase detection autofocus, which is incredible. And on the rear you also have your HDR. Now for the video on the back, you can record in 4K at 24, 30 and 60 frames per second, which is phenomenal for a phone. You can also record in 1080p at 30, 60 and 120 frames per second, so some real good slow-mo footage coming out of that. And you can also record in 1080p at 240 frames per second. So this is really a quality video recorder, as well as producing some top-class still images as well. So, camera, top of the range, hard to beat, especially when you're taking video into the equation as well as the still images. So you will not be disappointed with the camera on the iPhone XS. Now number 3 on my top 3 features on the iPhone XS is the software. The software on this device is incredible. I think you'll be over the moon with it. It is smooth, it is fast. It's hard not to talk about software and hardware at the same time because they sort of go hand in hand. But this software on the iPhone XS is also rolled back onto the older devices, so you get those features on the old devices as well. So for the first time with an Apple software update, your old phones will be getting better, not worse, and that's a win-win for everyone. The software is consistently good in day-to-day operations, and if you're an average phone user, you are not going to notice any performance issues whatsoever. I mean, you're going to open your apps and they're going to open for you quickly, and you're going to close them and they're going to close quickly. You'll be able to multitask as well as you can on an iPhone, but you'll definitely be able to do some app switching rather quickly and painlessly. And I really don't think your average user does too much of that. I really don't think that the Geekbench scores and all these sorts of things are going to really matter to the average Joe who's using their iPhone XS. Now, a bit of a disclaimer. If you're coming from an older iPhone, like I was coming from an iPhone 7, a friend of mine was coming from an iPhone 8, getting used to not having that home button and these new swipe or gestures that you need to navigate the software will be frustrating for about half a day to a day. Now, for your savvy phone user, they will pick it up really quickly. If you've used a phone with gestures before instead of a home button or a series of buttons, then you'll pick it up quickly. However, if you haven't, you're going to find it a little bit frustrating to start with, but I'd say that will dissipate rather quickly once you figure it out, and you will be impressed with that buttery smooth performance of the iPhone XS. So there we go. We've got my top 3 features for the iPhone XS: the build, the camera, and the software, which is iOS 12. Whatever. So if you've got the cash and you don't already have one of this year's flagships, then yes, upgrade. That's it for my top 3 features for the iPhone XS. I'm really stoked that you came by to watch this video. Hit that like button and the subscribe button, and I will catch you in the next video. Check ya.